back from that short break. We're still staying with the current happening in Benue State, and we're told that the Yalowata community has been the recent community being attacked by these headers, and we saw how that has sparked a global reaction, prompting the Pope to actually lend his voice, calling on not just the federal government at this point, but international communities to say this is what's currently happening. You know, when the Pope makes issue that statement, you know how wide that will go, that Christians are being killed in Benue State, and we saw the huge numbers, we saw the videos, and a whole lot of conversation has been built. We're aware that the Inspector General Police is actually going there to see what's currently happening, but beyond that, we're asking how can we create a lasting solution to this issue, not just in Benue State, but in other parts of Nigeria. Joining us this morning, we have public affairs commentators who will be giving us his own opinion. It's no other person than Jumbo Godwin. Jumbo, good morning this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Yesterday, we saw young people like yourself who were in Benue State, Makurdi. They barricaded the road. They are saying, we don't want to resort to heaven. And what was the caption? They are saying, end the bloodshed. Protesters demand justice, end of bloodshed in Benue State. Now, you saw that video.
Yeah.
You saw that activists were there talking about VDM and the likes, and you saw how that is gaining a lot of traction. How long should we remain? How long should we be doing hashtag? How long should Nigerians be experiencing bloodbath? You saw videos, faces were covered with leaves. You saw lifeless bodies on the ground. How long should we endure this challenge?
All right, thank you very much. First of all, when I saw the video, I bleed in my heart. But we need to, before we talk about the present state, we need to reflect back on how we got here. You know, in the 13th and 14th century, the Fulani started migrating into Benue State, and then from Senegambia. And many of them, when they got into Benue and other parts of the north, they decided to settle down. And one striking argument or one striking dispute that has emanated over the years is land dispute, dominance. The Fulani want to dominate over the people of Benue. And the people of Benue are like, we are the original owners of this land. You cannot come here and dominate us. You understand? And so where this issue started from is that there have been series of clashes. You know, the Benue people, they are good in farming. That's why Benue is known as the food basket of the nation. And the Fulani, they are good in taking care of cattle. But the Fulani will always take their cattle to encroach on the Benue indigenes, on their land, on their farmland. Imagine old man planting acres of yam and you just bring your cow and destroy everything. So this issue has been crippling right from the one. And look at 2014. In Agatu local government, that was over hundreds of people were killed, and it
was also very
yes. In 2016, Agatu and local government, we still have over 150 persons killed. In 2018, January 1st, New Year Day, they still burned down houses and communities on New Year Day. You understand? Hundreds of people lives were also so. They have been claiming life over the years.
Do you think, in your opinion, do you think the Benue people have been magnanimous enough? They have been patient enough because they don't want to take laws into their hand? Do you think these killer headers are taking this patience for granted?
The Benue people have been very patient. If you recall back in 2017, when an incident like that happened, the Benue people, they called the Fulani elders, and the citizens and the residents of the elders, and they said, okay, let us sit down and have a peaceful conflict resolution. You understand? The Fulani, they agree to their terms, and the Benue also agree to their terms. But what is getting me twisted right now is you have already agreed that you guys are going to cohabit peaceably. Then why are you burning? Because the attack has always been overnight when the people are sleeping. They just come
and the Matawa issue happened by 10 p.m. as a result of the
and if you check the dead bodies, some of them were burned into ashes. That means the fire has been light up for hours before somebody's body can just burn into ashes. And one thing that bleeds my heart, when I saw children, babies, and all of that. So the Fulani, they have always been raping the women in Benue State, rape their women, and also kill them. You understand? So what I want the federal government to do at this moment is to tackle this issue decisively. First, we need to stop open grazing. It has to be closed grazing. Because this open grazing,
ranching,
yes, giving the Fulani right to go into people's farm, that's where the issues are coming from. And I also want to send a signal to the state government, our state government, state governor, Adams, Senator Monday Okpebholo. We should not just look at what is happening in Benue and keep quiet.
And say it is in Benue.
And said it is Benue. Because this same attitude came to us right in Uromi and even Ovia Northeast. You understand? So we should learn from what is happening. You understand? There should be a boundary. There's nothing. Let's go into. The federal government should go into at least modern grazing. At least the cow. If it will give them one portion of 1 acre of land or hundreds of acres of land, let them stay there. Then take your cow to the market. We saw
President Buhari coming up with that idea to say, let's have these. The state governor, they kicked against it. Ruga, I think it was Ruga. The Ruga settlement. We saw how the state government kicked against it, including the Benue State. Do you think that's enough justification for what we are seeing to happen in Benue State happening?
Do you know that in 2022, even the former governor, Otom, his own village was also attacked. Imagine a presiding you're a governor, a sitting governor, and your own state was attacked. You understand? So the issue about this. Let me just tell you the truth. The issue about this Fulani is beyond political party, because what people are looking at now is APC are weak. This is beyond political party. This issue started from Genesis.
Before these parties.
Before the parties, even before the creation of states. You understand? Now, when we had issues in the creation of states and also local government, they should have created this in a way that people who are speaking the same language, doing things, at least have the same language, culture, and everything. They should be in one local government. I don't know if you understand. Then the other set, because that's where the issues are coming from. I don't know if you understand, because of this continuous disagreements.
You see, there is no error, there is no society, no climb that you don't have challenges. But the point, like we keep saying, if government of any state or nation becomes part of the complication, it's difficult to resolve.
Obviously.
Right.
Now, most people, like your narration, back from the 12th, 13th century, this Madame Fodio, you started your narration from Senegambia, the infiltration of the Hausa Fulanis.
You're right.
I think that's what they are still thinking about. It's more of a religious predominance, taking the lands from their original owners and installing. You see, Uncommon just said that there was a time that the state governors kicked against ranching, which would have been better. But for their fear that some state governors feel that this, if they give them places to ranch, they will turn it to military zones or war zones or terrorist zones from where they can attack.
Yeah, it becomes cantonment.
So I remember Wiki that time. Houston Wiki was the river said. He said no, that no government can make them give. They don't even have land in rivers. So all of this reaction boils down to governors or government, the Federal Republic of Nigeria, not willing to take a decisive decision.
Right.
There's no way there's no challenge, sir. In America, people carry guns, racism, and kill people, blacks against white. In South Africa, there's what you call xenophobia. So attacks are real. But what is more real is government positioning. There was one time 2 years ago when Tom Polo cried out also from the Niger Delta that these Fulani herdsmen, they are now fishing, that they have taken over the country. It's not statements of grandstanding that Kayode Egbotoku has gone to Benue State to say it's not the IG. It's not about the IG position. It's all scam. The IG, even if the IG moves its office from Lagos or Abuja to Benue, it will not solve the issue.
You're right.
Do you think so? So the issue is now, what is stopping government from taking decisive action about making this Ruga? There is no way in the world. I mean, we don't even produce beef that Togo eats.
No, part of the objections that these governors gave, which was also very legitimate at that time.
Yeah.
They are saying, why would the federal government take our lands and give to people who are doing private business? Cattle rearing is a private business.
Yeah, but they were going to be now. They were going to pay taxes. They were going to pay taxes.
No, let's come to Jumbo. Let's look at the issue. Now let's go back to that narrative. Now the federal government is taking, let's say, this particular environment
in a
do and giving
making it a ranching place,
giving it to these herders, and they are saying no. If you do that for the
cattle rearers,
would you also create another industrial estate and willingly give it to the Igbo men who are selling spare parts? Would you also create another part and give it to the Ijaw people who are doing this? Now that becomes the issue, because how would you react to this particular issue by saying cattle rearing is a personal business? You cannot use your personal business to disturb the lives and livelihood of other people, other states, other local government, and that has been the issue. React to that particular objections that the state governors gave to Mr. President at that particular time.
When it comes to cattle rearing, I don't think Nigeria rear cattle more than the United States of America. When it comes to cattle rearing, so we cannot even compete with the world largest. With top countries,
Germany,
you understand? But one thing has been on ground. You understand? When you must put the life of people first, your citizens first. Now, coming back to your story, this cattle rearing is a private business. So if I'm giving you my land, you have to pay for it. It's going to be like lease. The government will have to generate revenue from there. I don't know if you understand, because you cannot come and tell me because I want to settle peace, let me just give you my land for free of charge, and you'll be rearing cattle and ending millions of naira. Where does government now end theirs? You understand? So what I feel is the if the president cannot do it, he should allow state governors to take decisive actions. At least community policing. If young people in various communities are trained, given good equipment to hold, they can react. The reason why the Fulanis are constantly able to attack
the citizens
is because the citizens have nothing to defend themselves. If you watch what happened at Urumi, the way the Urumi people reacted, I'm not supporting massacre. I'm not supporting that barbaric act, but that has sent a strong signal that if you try it next time.
But you are aware that that particular region, and the environment has been plagued with a whole lot of issues after that. We saw the heightened kidnapping and a whole lot of insecurity.
It's the reason why they are calm. The state governor promised to handle the issues, and there is a limit to their patience. You cannot come and be killing us. For what?
Will you dissociate the federal government not taking proactive steps to 2027 election?
See, that's the issue. That's why I'm paying. You cannot be talking about renew hope agenda when your citizens are dying. First, Tinubu is just 24 months into governance. We need to see practical government. We want to see the dividends of democracy. And it is the obligation of government to protect life and property. Before you talk about renew hope agenda, first of all, what is your government doing to even make the citizens of Nigeria secured? People die every day. Like what happened in Yalado. Do you know the lives that went down? Even young people. You understand? So we cannot be talking about 2027 now. It is too early.
Peace and tranquility of the nation.
What we should be talking about now is governance. Cost of fuel, cost of petroleum need to come down so that people can elevate themselves from poverty level. You know, petroleum is the center of our economy, and once the thing skyrocket, it means every other thing.
All right, thank you, Jumbo, for that. Your thought there. It seems a lot needs to be done and done fast. Because the nation, like Kaide will always say, is sinking into bloodshed, is sinking into massacre, and like he rightly posited, these are some of the spark that can cause a huge furnace to go up aflame, and that's not what we're looking for our nation. As patriotic citizens, we want peace. We want to be able to sleep with our eyes closed. We don't want to wake up again and we are seeing hashtag trending all over the news. We are saying let peace reign in this state, let peace reign in that state. And also we are sending our sincere condolences to every family that lost their loved ones in that particular issues and also other parts of the nation. That's why we'll be drawing the curtain. We've been looking at the security situation in Benue State, how the youths are reacting, the genesis of the problems, and what the government should be doing to ensure they create not just peace in Benue State, but every part of the nation. That has been our show this morning. Join us again tomorrow for another wonderful edition of Daybreak on EBS. And my name is Uncommon Emmanuel. Thank you for everyone that has ensured we had the wonderful program. Thank you, Kaidi. Thank you, Jomo. Thank you, Osabika. And thank you, our cameramans and everyone. Thank you. Have a wonderful day ahead. God bless Nigeria. Bye for now. I'm a candidate. I'm a helpful